Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Chords and Consoles. I'm your host, Sean Colangelo. This guy looks familiar to you, the one and only Slickwick Jonathan Porter. How's it going, JP?
It's going good, Sean.
Going good. These two, however, you don't see them on the show all the time. We have John Mark Moonshine King.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, don't say it.
And we got Creighton Seeley Hill.
Yeah. We had to change the nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't just throw that one out to the public.
2018.
Yeah, it would be, it would offend somebody.
That'll stay in Sean's basement.
Yeah. Just like a lot of things.
That's what I was about to say, just like a lot of things.
How's it going, boys?
Hey.
Excited to be here, Sean. How are you today?
Fantastic. I don't think I'm as good as you guys. But,
Yeah.
so
Woo! That's gonna make the sound spike because I'm clapping.
it doesn't matter.
I'll pretend to clap and you guys edit in a clap sound, okay? Woo! Alright.
So some
That's
people.
not what clapping sounds.
Yeah, it's all Sean. He'll do that with his mouth.
Yeah,
Put it
yeah.
over top.
Some people out there might know that we were all part of one of the iterations of Great Fangs.
2.0?
And so, this is our... Yeah, I think it was like 2.0.
Yeah.
This is our new segment where it's pretty much like the same thing as a Console Space podcast, but we also have like a band on at the same time. So I mean, pretty much this is the reunion that everyone's been waiting for. It's go ahead.
I think you're supposed to say the name of the show.
I did already.
He did.
It's
He did.
Chords and Consoles, bro.
I didn't. I missed it, I'm sorry.
He's drunk.
I thought there's like rules to podcasts.
Again?
I mean, we both are, but
Yeah.
Actually, let me get out my coin here.
So, no, I mean, I see this as the reunion that everybody was waiting for. It's pretty much like the Great Fangs couch bukkake. This is what everybody wanted, at least as far as I heard.
well, we did it, but we've done it a couple times before, but it was never on film.
Right. Well, it's official now.
Oh, okay.
Rob's not here, though.
Yeah.
Rob's pretty important when it comes to do
Where's
bukkake.
Rob? Yeah.
Not back
Rob, where are you, man? I'm not like. Where are you, Rob? You're not here, and it's breaking my heart, man. I just want you to know that.
Well,
The
I was
rest
hoping he
of
would
this
become
episode-
that couch or something at one point.
The rest of this
Actually,
episode, we should talk about Rob.
I know where Rob is right now. Rob is actually tracking drums with Concrete Teepee, who was on the first ever episode
Yeah.
of Chords and Consoles. He
You can watch that one at this link.
Do that
That's-
a lot, because Sean edits it.
please don't.
So do that
If you
as
want
much
tips
as you
on how to
can.
properly edit your YouTube video, you can check out these links.
Jesus.
Oh my, that's so many links.
So many links.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for watching Disney.
And we're not talking about Zelda.
Oh, dude.
You gotta put it. You're gonna put
That's
it in
crazy
a
how,
little
like,
warm thing there,
traced your finger like that.
Jesus.
Wow, Sean, that's some awesome graphics, bro.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You must have
Windows
spent,
Movie Maker, you'd be surprised what you can do.
you must have spent a lot of money to upgrade to After Effects to do that
yeah.
last part.
I'm definitely not going to torrent it or anything. So I like to start out by asking, some video game questions. Now, I know that you guys are both actually pretty big horror... Actually, all three of you are very big horror fans.
I thought you were just calling it
Yeah,
horror.
yeah,
I was gonna go with that.
No.
I just was gonna nod my head either way.
Yeah. Whereas I'm actually... out of all of us, I've never been overly into that stuff. Now, Creighton, I know that you actually like to watch people play games more than actually play them for the most part.
I do,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not so good at video games, but I want to know how they progress.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, when it comes to playing video games, I'm kind of the equivalent of like when you're a kid and you help your like dad or your grandpa with the car and they just give you a flashlight to hold.
Okay.
Even though it's like daytime and they don't really need it.
Right.
I'm like,
I
oh
understand.
yeah, use the power stone. I don't know anything.
Power Stone.
I don't know anything.
You just read the screen. And so,
I did actually one time.
You'll make it.
I watched almost the entire cinematic, like start to finish, of the Metal Gear Solid games, just because I love Metal Gear Solid.
I
so
don't
much,
blame you.
but I suck at video games. So like,
Those are tough games too. So,
yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying, did you like watch it on YouTube or watch someone play it?
on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's someone that has like everything like lined up to
It's
where you can
like-
watch it start to finish.
It's like 5.5 hours, and I watched like 2.5 hours of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why has nobody told me about this? This exists?
If you search,
It's amazing.
If you search Metal Gear the movie, it'll come up as like Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. He has one for each game, and you can just watch. He has like all of the cutscenes and like a little bit of gameplay in between to like make it like complete.
That's
It's pretty
sick.
Huh.
So I can watch Snake Eater 3, Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater all over again and cry, and I don't have
cool.
to play it.
Exactly.
Yes. First
Speaking-
video game to ever make me cry.
And then you watch Escape from New York and Escape from LA, which is essentially the same movie, only Escape from LA has surfing in it. And
There you go.
Boom! My head explodes. Put that in.
Speaking of Snake Eater, I had no idea there was a collector's edition strategy guide for that game.
I don't know either.
I totally eBayed it for like $10. I was like, yeah.
I'm sure it's like this thick.
Roughly.
Like as big as my dick.
Right.
Like that.
Exactly.
About
feel
that
like-
big.
I feel like there's gonna be so many points in this where you could just have the like camera close up on me and it's like everybody's talking.
Don't know what they're saying.
Oh my god. So, is there anything that you guys have been playing or watching lately? What are you gaming on?
Well, I let's see. I've been playing a lot of Left 4 Dead lately because I have both of those on Xbox 360,
Okay.
and they're easy enough for me to play. Because you have 4 teammates, or 3 teammates, so
helps.
it's hard to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
I still do sometimes, just to switch it up, keep things interesting. Sometimes I'll die.
Right.
For the sake of entertainment.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't say every time I die,
Oh, I would, because I
but
love them.
sometimes I do.
All right. You know what? Those are a handful of the, there were a select handful of 360 games that were pretty damn good, and those are a few of them for
Yeah.
sure. So.
I mean, I've been told, like, when it comes to Xbox, like, I mean, basically, you play Gears of War, and then you're pretty much done with Xbox. 'Cause
well,
pretty much
and
anything else
Halo.
good is on. And Halo,
And Halo, yeah.
See,
We don't talk about that here.
I can never really get into Halo. Like,
I haven't either, but
I understand that a lot of people like Halo, and I think, like, visually, I think that Master Chief looks cool, and Cortana, that's a cool name.
Right.
So I should
Right.
be excited, but I feel like maybe the thing that threw me off is, like, the aliens look so goofy to me that it's hard to give it, like, a lot of gravity, Like, because when I think alien stuff in general is not really scary to me, that particular genre never really spooked me, with the exception of, like, the first time I watched Alien as a kid, I thought it was scary, and VHS 2.
Yeah.
That's probably like the scariest alien
That poor
thing I've
dog.
ever seen.
dude, I remember when you.
poor dog.
I remember when you showed me
Like, fuck
that,
those
and I
kids.
was like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
forgot. That's
I was
like,
there.
That's like your worst fear, isn't it?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we threw it on in my apartment. I remember that. It was amazing.
I'm sitting over here like,
man.
aliens aren't scary at all. Anybody who's scared
When-
by aliens just...
when
That's
I-
not why he's shaking, but he's shaking.
when I was a kid, that was like my childhood phobia.
Yeah.
Like, my God, I'll never forget this story. I rented a book from the school library, and it was about aliens. And there was a picture of some alien looking through a little girl's bedroom window, and her dad was holding up a shotgun. And
Wait,
I
what
s-
grade was this?
this is like 4th grade.
Why did they
And
have
I'm not-
books like
I
that?
don't
in
know.
Warwood.
I don't
fourth
know.
grade, man.
Warwood Elementary School,
And,
baby.
Dude, I was so traumatized by it that I came home like sobbing. My mom actually thought that like somebody at school was like touching me or something. Like, that's how bad.
No, you were at school, not at church.
Oh,
Got probed, Mom.
yeah. That was bad.
Alien, and he looked just like the school janitor. They take human form.
His mop turned into a thing that he told me to bend over.
So then fast forward maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 6th grade,
Yeah.
I thought I was mostly kind of over it. And then I watched Signs.
Okay.
Really bad idea.
Oh.
I woke up and like sweating like all night long. It was really bad. I'm old enough
To
now to where
Signs?
yeah. Well,
you were a kid,
I mean, I
okay.
was like
Signs was
12.
kinda
I guess
creepy
you
when it
were a
first
kid.
came out,
Yeah.
like the scene where the alien's walking, And I always
Oh God, yeah, that's
I
horrible.
think that's creepy, but
Oh.
the alien has this kind of like expression as if like he knows that they're recording him, and he's like, "Oh shit, I better get out of the shot." Like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's almost like he didn't want to like photobomb him. When he's considerate of
He's
him, I
being
suppose.
nice.
Continue.
Jared's
You
taking a
can't
call.
do that.
I got it. I got to run a store.
Important business.
Well, now that he's gone,
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some more
Yeah,
meat in.
back to video games though. Like, I never really could get into Halo. Like, the only two experiences I had with Halo that I thought were like noteworthy at all is like, it's the first game I ever played with like a headset, so I could talk to other people playing.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure of playing against, I'd say probably like a 13-year-old kid. And mind you, at this point, like a couple of my friends, one of them being Crow Hardley, you can watch his episode at this link.
Whoa, it's everywhere.
One of, I would watch them play Halo against people, and they'd get so mad and they'd yell, the most obscene things at these other people. And I thought it was hilarious because I was like, how can you get that upset over a video game where you're like shooting aliens and driving tanks? Like, it's all fun, I played for maybe 20 minutes, and I wanted to find this kid, like, and physically destroy him. Like, I wanted to wrap the controller cord around his throat and squeeze until his head like popped off, like Arnold Schwarzenegger on the surface of Mars. Like, I was so mad, and part of what made me so mad too was like I was trying to think of like things that I could say to a 13-year-old that he'd never heard before that would actually disturb him. Because I was like, I might not be as good at video games as you, but I bet I can scare you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't think of anything, and he just kept replying with like really odd insults. Like I think his favorite was to call me undead baby fetus raper,
Oh.
which I don't even. There's a lot of things wrong with that
Wait,
phrase.
undead
Undead
baby fetus.
Baby fetus.
So
raper.
it died, came back.
and I guess it's a baby, but it's also a fetus.
Right. That
Which I don't know. That's
you can't really be
that's
both.
an issue.
Can you?
yeah. And I'm apparently so bad at Halo that I rape undead baby fetuses to take my aggression out. I think that's what he was trying to illustrate there. I don't understand.
Well, what this 13-year-old doesn't understand is you're actually just taking its stem cells so you can be stronger.
Yeah. The joke's
Well,
on him.
Joke's on him,
regardless,
right?
it stuck with me, and I was really mad. And I was like, I get it now. I just spent 20 minutes trying to find a like more disturbing way to cuss out a child. So I understand. That's hard. And the other thing about Halo that I thought was cool was, do you remember for a while they had like a website that was just like a huge like battle, like a Halo battle, and you could like travel around it, and they made it like it was like historical things, like the Battle of whatever, and it'd show like, like Master Chief like reaching for like this bomb or something like that, and there are all these aliens on this thing, and you could like go around it like 360 degrees. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. Actually, you could probably find it at this link here.
Oh, look, Sean found it. Yeah.
And but no, I thought that was really cool, and I was like, okay, I mean, I can gather why people are fanatics for this game from that, but I just never could really get into it,
My thing with Halo is I think in its time it was extremely revolutionary. I just think that time was a while ago.
Okay, yeah.
That's you know what I mean. But,
Yeah.
It's like trying to say Nickelback is still good today.
And they were kind of good back in the day.
Nickelback is still good today.
Ooh.
I just said it.
Well, the debate goes.
Never made it as a wild man. That sounds timeless.
Timeless.
Good at it.
That's
And
timeless.
we don't have the rights to that. I mean,
Gotta be,
we're
we
in
just,
copyright strike. Not that anybody watches.
I think you
this.
can say,
well, that's okay, Sean. You can put a link right here that says we do not own the rights to this song.
I think you're legally allowed to sing like 30 seconds of a song or something like that. I think.
Maybe.
Lyrically,
You can
only
just
one way
like
to-
censor.
No, well,
it,
we
not
find
sing
out.
it,
Only one way to
like-
find out.
yeah, yeah.
How about you, Jam? What you playing, man?
Oh, let's see. Well, lately I've been playing No Man's Sky a lot because I don't need drugs to trip out while playing
Not
that.
anymore. You don't.
Because the colors are just ridiculous. Absolutely.
Now-
They've updated a lot to it.
Well-
and
That's what I hear.
it's amazing.
Yeah. Now I've thought about trying to jump back into it. like it does seem like it's much improved, but I'm still hung up on the fact that there still just kind of ultimately seems to be no point.
You got to pop it back in. There's so much more to like all these little side stories that they're doing.
Okay.
Almost every single solar system that you go to, there's an anomaly hanging out, and you got to go collect stuff for it to give it to them.
I mean, I've done
so
that,
they can
though.
tell you
I
more.
don't know.
And it's really cool, especially the third person now. That changes the whole entire way that game plays.
Same here, because I much prefer that to first person.
I had to get used to it when it first came out. I seriously took I was blown away by it, but it took me over a week and a half just to like maintain control of the game. Because it was a pain in the ass when you're on a planet and all of a sudden you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna mine this little fruit, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Blah!" And you're getting hit and you're like, what the fuck? And you look around and there's this tiny little animal and he's just headbutting you. He's like, where the fuck did you come from? Now I gotta kill you and I don't want to. You little bastard.
Yeah, they just got to do it out there. And Oh. Okay.
Just make sure it doesn't go into the microphone.
Yeah.
Otherwise
I'm
we're
not
screwed.
singing it out loud.
I get it.
But I've been all over that. Just for the sheer fact of that, just that third person changed the game entirely in the way that it plays, and it's really a lot of fun. The one thing that I've been like amping myself up to get ready to do is I've done so many warp drives, but I'm going to do my first black hole here by the end of the night.
Sounds like my next
So
one.
give me luck. Wish me luck. And yes, it is a lot like your
What are we
ex-wife. Jerry,
talking
both know.
about here, fellas?
So is that about it, or are you playing anything else too?
I got this new game called Mafia 3 because it was free for the PS4 this month, and
First,
that's
not too bad.
It's sweet. Like I was really blown away. The first little bit of it, I was like, okay, this is basically a ripoff of Grand Theft Auto. Like, okay, I get it. But then it got into the story mode of it, and it starts doing this Tarantino thing with it. Starts off, kicks you back, brings you up, builds you up. You gotta love it, right? And for a free game, like I kind of kicked myself because I was like, I really wish I would have just bought this. Like back even when it was $60, it was definitely worth it. The storyline on it's sick, and the graphics are ridiculous. Like smooth, ridiculous.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, JP. So we were talking a little bit before we came on about just a couple of days ago, or I think maybe like last week, they released remasters of the Shenmue games. Now, have you played them?
No, I've never played them.
Can I ask you guys, is it Shenmue or is it pronounced Shenmue?
I honestly don't know.
I think Shenmue sounds cooler, huh?
I think it's Mew.
That would make more sense.
Shenmue?
But I guess it's
It
just
probably
like,
translates into something.
I don't
right?
know.
So, like,
I have no idea.
I hope it translates into something really weird, like
Shitty Wampa.
exactly. That's
Shitty
exactly
chicken?
what-
oh, my shitty beef.
I don't know why, but that's the first thing that came to my head.
Butterfly car.
So I held out for a long time, and I didn't even purchase a Dreamcast until like 2 or 3 years ago. And I would have preferred to have, I prefer to have those games for Dreamcast, but they're like ridiculously expensive. So I was like, okay, pass. I'm glad I waited now anyway, because obviously now we have this like, this like HD collection.
Yeah, and it's cool because they didn't like remake it or anything like that. They just like upscaled it just enough to where it's like, okay, it's in like widescreen and it's like better resolution, and that's like it. So it's like, okay, cool.
I remember when I was a kid, again, Crow Hardley and I used to hang out, and he had a Dreamcast. We would go and rent Dreamcast games from Blockbuster. You get some like popcorn or pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how you spend your night.
That's beautiful.
We played Power Stone
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
many times. I mean,
That game was so
I
sick.
kind of sucked at that game for the same reason I suck at Smash Bros. Like, there's so much going on the screen. I'm like, where's my guy? Where's my guy? It's like, oh, you're dead, dude. Like, you died like 2 seconds into the first round. But we played Power Stone constantly. I thought that game was awesome. We played, what else did we play on Dreamcast? Oh, we did get Sword of the Berserk, which you had mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I just bought that finally.
That game is based on a manga.
Oh, is
Manga.
it? Okay.
Yeah, and there's like a whole TV series and stuff, and it's extremely violent. I'm surprised that they were able to make a video game.
Yeah, there's a
out
lot of
it.
blood.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I just remember playing that game, and like halfway through the game, you fight a boss It's like a giant like demon thing. It's like a minotaur sort of thing, but it's got like demon wings and like it has 2 horns and one of the horns is like broken. And I think there's like some part of the mythos where like Gatsu, the guy you play as, Guts or whatever his name is, like cut its horn off, and that's why they're like arch enemies, you know. And I remember the main things I remember about that game was, number one, that boss was damn near impossible to beat. Like,
Really?
it took us so long, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's really frustrating when you finally beat him, what happens. And then the whole rest of the game is just like smooth sailing, because that is the hardest damn boss in the game, and everything else is easy. That's one thing I remember about that game. The other thing I remember about that game is the main villain's name was Ballsack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Ballsack.
it was hilarious to hear
Yeah.
these things where they're like, you should not have challenged Lord Ballsack. And I'm like, of all the names they could have picked, they had to know, like, it just sounds like Ballsack.
Yeah.
The whole time, like, we played that a lot. And then there was a game on Dreamcast called Zombie Revenge.
Yes.
You played that?
Yes.
I actually haven't played that, but
I
I've seen
have.
a lot of video on it because I want to buy it.
There's
so
like,
cool.
it's one of those games where you can pick from, I think, like 3 main characters, and the one who's like your like run of the mill like cliche like action dude with like a kind of mullet. His name was like Stick Brannigan, which we always thought was an awesome name.
Stick Brand.
And then the other guy, I think there was maybe a girl you could play as, and then there was another guy who was like a Asian dude with like a scar on his face and an afro, and I guess he was supposed to be a hard-boiled cop. But it was great in the cinematic scenes because the Stick Brannigan guy would be like, "The zombies are coming through the main entrance. We've got to find another way out of here." Because it had like the same like cinematics as like House of the Dead. You know, he's like, "What are we going to do?"
Like the Resident Evil style.
But he would comment to this dude with the afro, and the dude with the afro would turn back to him and be like, and he'd be like, "You're right. We have to find an exit."
Dude,
Why do you understand each other? You're clearly not speaking the same language.
I love the voice acting in old Sega games. Like, they're all
Yeah.
so bad. But it's hilarious.
That's mostly what I play. I have like one of those Sega Genesis that you can like still put cartridges in, but it has like 100 built-in games.
That's a good
Which
one.
really, there's only like 20 of them that are good, and then there's like
Still,
all these
though.
odd like Asian games.
Yeah.
Like it'll say like Knight Battle King, and it's just chess.
Right. Yeah, it's
Like-
stupid.
Endless back and forth battle, and it's air hockey, you know,
Right,
with like mechanics that make no sense because it'll go straight past your thing.
Yeah.
But I play a lot of those, and I think the best games for the Sega Genesis. I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent here.
No,
go ahead.
y'all
Okay.
do it.
I feel like some of the best games for the Sega Genesis are on there, and I've realized that they're all essentially the same game in a different setting. Take, for example, Streets of Rage,
Yeah.
1,
Yes.
2, and 3. Awesome games, especially the third one where you can play as a robotic Dr. Phil, and he just like flies around.
Yes.
And his special move is he picks people up and shakes them and sets them back down. Like, that's his special
Oh,
move.
man.
But that Streets of Rage is essentially Golden Axe
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
on the streets, you know.
Right.
And then
Oh,
both
yeah.
of those games are amazing. I love both of those games. I could play those for days.
I own Streets of Rage a la the Sega 6-pack thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure, like, I do actually have a hard copy of Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
And
That was
then,
the best one.
oh, well, 3 is not cheap. Like I recently looked it up, and I'm pretty sure hard copy goes for like $80 or something like that.
Really?
And I was like, never mind.
Dude, you know what is really expensive, and I've been waiting for it to not be expensive, but it just seems to get more expensive. I would love to own Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
But
I have
it's
the
like-
Genesis, yeah.
Do you?
I got it too.
Dude,
the
that's-
cheapest I've ever found it was like $30, and I'm
I'll
like,
tell you,
What the hell? Like,
I'll tell you. I'll go ahead.
Oh, I got mad lucky back in high school and found some shlomo selling it online. He has to had like a video game store for rentals or something way back in the day. He sold it to me for $3, mint condition with the actual box itself. And I didn't even have a Genesis. I just wanted it. And I still have it, and I got one of those throwback ones where you can pop in the cartridge, but my batteries exploded in that bullshit wireless controller, so I got to buy a new one. But I threw that in the first time I got it and immediately was just thrown back into childhood. It was beautiful.
dude, I love that game.
It's so
I bought
fucking
it.
fun.
It's like impossible though. There's like 80 levels. You can't see
good.
it.
I can't get past 19.
Yeah.
I can never get past 19. The stupid worm coming up in and out of the ground. You can't kill
It
it.
has like some of the best like 18-bit or 16-bit. Is it
16.
16-bit.
Yeah.
Some of the best like 16-bit music too. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I bought it.
I wake up in the middle of the night singing that sometimes. I don't know why.
I bought it for a Sega Genesis a couple years back, like with the Casey manual. I might have got it for like $20. So
Really?
yeah, but
See,
dude,
it's just going up, up, up.
well, dude, I mean, I can tell you as a collector, like old stuff like that is not going to get cheaper.
No.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Just do
like,
yourself a favor and buy it.
Yeah,
I know.
I've been doing that lately.
I'm
I
so
recently
sad about it.
I went like on an eBay tear because everything I still want, I'm like, I'm not gonna get this any cheaper than right now.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, I might as well just do it and get it over with.
good point.
But
I love that game though. You know another game for Sega that's impossible to beat? Altered Beast.
Yes.
that game
There's no
sucks
way
so
to
bad
beat that
too.
game.
I can't get past the
It
third
has,
level.
It has the best sound bits though.
Yeah.
Welcome to your
That game's amazing.
Like when you get Paul Rope, sure rips off.
whoa.
It's literally a game about like Greek dudes taking steroids and kicking animals.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't really played Shenmue or Shenmue however you play it. I started it. Have you guys actually played through it?
Oh, yeah.
I've
Okay.
never.
Oh, yeah.
Played through them both?
Not the second one. When
Okay.
the second one came out, that's right around when all of Dreamcast just started to fall,
it just
unfortunately.
Yeah, like I was saying right before we began recording, I'm at the beginning of the game, which is just like, hey, like I need to go like ask this guy something, and like over and over and over again. I assume once it really picks up, it'll be great.
It is.
But like right now, I'm just like, what? Like, when am I gonna get to like do something in this damn game?
I remember picking that game up, and as a kid, like my attention span still sucks, but as a kid, it was a hell of a lot worse. And I spent 20 minutes just doing what you're doing. And it was like,
and you were like, why am I like?
what am I doing? And I threw
Yeah.
it down, and it took me 2 more weeks to pick it back up. And it was one of those moments where I picked it back up and was like, all right, I'm just gonna get through this. Like, come on, John, let's do this. Come on. And I put it in, started it, had to go talk to somebody else. The next thing I know, I'm in a fight. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, if I would have waited 10 seconds, you dumb son of a...
Right, for sure.
For a second, I thought you were like saying that was something that happened in real life that like
Then I'm in a
took
fight.
you away from the game. And you were like, oh, I gotta go talk to somebody. Next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, I was in a fight. I'm like, whoa, dude.
And then I was like,
That's
you know
the way
what?
to
What
quickly.
things are you doing?
You know what? I wish I was playing that game instead of fighting somebody. And I went back and enjoyed it.
So
I'd rather just walk around and talk to people than have my ass kicked on a lively basis.
So a little bit ago, you mentioned Power Stone.
Yeah.
Right. So one of those games really bad for Dreamcast. Dude, they go for like 80 a pop.
I believe
Yeah, they're
it.
really expensive now.
I got lucky though.
Well, it's one of those. I feel like Power Stone was kind of like it was kind of like GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. Like you could play it for hours and not get
With your-
bored.
yeah.
Like
Especially with friends. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
see, that's why I wanted for Dreamcast because I wanted to be able to play it with people. But like, it's just so expensive. I was just like, eh. Sony actually has a port of it
Yeah.
that you can play on the PSP or PS Vita.
Oh, cool.
And a couple of weeks ago, there was a sale. I got it for like $3.
Nice.
So I was like, I mean, I would rather have actual copies, but I just got each game for $3. So I'm like,
Word.
what are you gonna do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Nightmare Creatures game for Dreamcast? Or was that strictly PlayStation? Do you remember
I'm not
Nightmare
sure.
Creatures?
Yeah, I do.
It was like The big thing about Nightmare Creatures was that like the soundtrack was all like Rob Zombie or something.
Yeah.
But you played.
You know what else?
Yeah,
Is,
we had a conversation about that.
I found
One of
this.
the episodes. Yeah.
I found this game. It's called Sled Storm on the PS1.
Right.
And like most of the tracks are just Rob Zombie tracks.
And
Power Man 5000.
And I was like, I'm so glad I bought this game.
there, for some reason, that era they had the Sled Storm all over the case. It's like Rob Zombie soundtrack, and then like Twisted Metal 3 is the
There's
same
like
way.
all
It's like,
zombie.
oh,
yeah.
dude.
all Rob Zombie.
Twisted Metal is one of the coolest games ever made.
I
love
agree.
that game, dude.
I
second one.
absolutely agree.
Dude, I feel like. Do you remember? Okay, so in Twisted Metal, the premise is that all these people are competing in a car carnage tournament to get some sort of like wish, basically. Coming true from
Calypso.
Yeah,
Calypso.
he was like an evil genie type. deal.
Basically.
Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
Do you remember there was the guy? This was the most ridiculous character on that game. There was a bald dude who had giant wheels for arms.
Axel.
Axel.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure,
He's, like,
correct me if
fused
I'm
every
wrong,
time.
but I'm pretty sure his story was something about how, like, when he was a child, his dad put wheels on his arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's exactly what the story was.
There's a few things wrong with that scenario. Like, number one, like, did he start him with smaller wheels? And then he got bigger wheels.
Did he get training
That's a good
wheels?
point.
You know,
Yeah.
like, because I imagine if it was the same size wheels the whole time,
He,
there'd be a long portion of his life where his little feet were just dangling, you know,
Yeah.
and that seems wrong. But I remember his storyline in the end, whenever he, like, gets to have his wish come true or whatever, he's just like, I just want to be done with this. And he detaches himself from his wheels and walks away, and that was
Right.
it. And I was like, are you sure you didn't mean to say, how about I could, like, live my life without fucking wheels for arms? Like, because that seems like a thing you might wish for in that scenario. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
Twisted Metal 2 was definitely one of the funnest PlayStation.
Oh, I
1
think that's the
games.
best one out of all.
Absolutely.
Maybe Black.
How about Sweet Tooth?
Sweet
What a
Tooth was the
creepy character,
fucking
you know?
man.
It's horrifying.
Him and what was there was Warthog, but then there was the was it Warhammer? What was it? It was like a giant tank. You'd go into God mode. Shoot, what was it?
There was
Wait,
in 2 there was Warthog, and then you could enter a code to unlock Minion, which was like
Minion.
the boss. He was like
Yes.
the one
oh, I
of the
thought we
bosses.
were
Minion.
thinking of Hammerhead.
Big tank.
Minion. No, Hammerhead? No.
Yeah, that was like the monster truck thing, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hammerhead was
Hammerhead,
Hammerhead
yeah.
was that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That good son of a bitch. I'll tell you what I've been also getting into more.
The
Pivot.
SNES.
son of a...
Oh,
That's SNES Classic.
Oh,
SNES Classic.
yeah.
I forgot.
did you get one?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, you know how I got one? I bought a NES. I bought a NES Classic and was like, yeah. Played that bad boy for like a week and a half. I walked into
Did it leveled
GameStop.
up and turned into
It did. I walked into GameStop and they gave
Transform.
me a cheat. They gave me a cheat sheet. They handed it to me. They were like, "Put this
this
in it." It was a guy in a back room. He just said that, "Hey, I've got the goods," and he just pulled away that curtain a little
Oh,
bit.
dude, you should have got the Mogwai instead.
Oh, damn it! I knew something was up. No, I got a Furby. He's cool. I still got a Furby.
Furbies are still terrifying.
They
A
are.
furry or a furry?
The
They
Whoa.
should, you know what they should do? How they're making all these horror films right now that are like remakes and stuff and trying to cash in on like the nostalgia
Yeah.
of like the
Yeah.
90s and early 2000s. They should make a horror film about Furbies.
Yes.
And just like rebrand them as these like terrifying creatures that never
I'll do you one
die.
better. Remake. What the hell is it called? Gremlins,
right.
but with Furbies.
Oh, they are remaking.
They are
Gremlins.
remaking Gremlins.
Oh, they are.
And they're actually they're making
they
it
are.
scary. They're making it scary.
of course.
Gremlins. Honestly, man, Gremlins is one of those movies that if you take out the whimsical music,
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
The scene in the first one where like the woman's like trapped in the house and the gremlins are like setting up traps trying to murder her. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah,
That
it's-
would be put yourself in that scenario.
Wouldn't be a good
Little
time.
demons are running around like laughing at you and
Right.
like yeah, that'd
Like
be
shaking their
terrifying.
head.
But it's okay because we watch it and it goes wump, 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 wump. So we're like, oh, this is fun, you know?
Don't they launch that old lady out the second story window and she's like 90? She deserved
Yeah.
it though. She was a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, she did. She hung the dog.
I mean,
or wait, no, the Gremlins did that. Fuck. That old lady didn't deserve anything.
That makes sense that it was the Gremlins.
Okay, so this is what it's what I was thinking if it was cool with you guys. First, I just kind of want to hear
No gay sex.
Well,
Off camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to hear your stories just about, when you started playing music and like all the bands you've been in up to the Fangs, and then maybe we can just tell that story for the few people that might care.
Cool.
So, because...
Well, what's interesting is our stories actually intertwined before what Great Fangs.
Yeah.
Well, shit, yeah. So what I was going to
heavily.
say is you two intertwined first, and then we all intertwine. So
I love that we're continuing to use the phrase intertwine.
Right. Like all of our
it makes
wings
it sound like
just...
we're all laying in bed wrapping our thighs around each other.
That's what's going
And
to
we
happen.
become one thing, like the human centipede.
Yeah, but like somehow like even scarier and like more terrifying. But so yeah, I don't know where does it begin for each of you? And
Well, you started in bands before I did.
I started in 8th grade. I was
eighth grade.
In 8th grade, and
Damn.
I was in a band called Stimulus. And to describe us best, one of my friends put it best when he heard the CD we recorded. We basically were Linkin Park Kids Bop.
Wow.
Was your first album called Package?
I see what you did
I
there.
was just okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I mean, we were totally like a rap rock band. We did
Alright.
Linkin Park covers, and we did Mud Shovel.
Oh,
You
Mud
remember
Shovel.
that song?
Mud Shovel.
So Stain.
My Stain.
Oh.
We did that. We did some System of a Down covers. I mean, for 8th graders, we sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
But that fell apart. Kind of. I don't know why, but like right when we were actually starting to be like, hey, we can write our own music that doesn't suck, And around that time is when I started listening to the punk rock, and I started going to punk rock shows at a place called Shelley's Cafe in downtown Wheeling, Center Wheeling, which is now a tanning salon. I think it's either a tanning salon or like a wine
That hurts.
place. Yeah, but it used to be this hole in the wall, like dirty place with like all kinds of crap everywhere. It had a big sign that said "Best Coffee in Wheeling," and I'm pretty sure there was never a single cup
I
of
don't think
coffee.
there was ever a single cup of coffee at
Ever.
Shelley's.
But we would have shows there like every weekend, and there was a really cool band that I got to see there. Like the first time I went, called the Dollar Shots.
Dollar
It was
Shots.
a dude named Brian Vickers was in that band, and he kind of like took me under his wing and like got me really interested in like punk rock. Him and his wife are still like two of my favorite people on the face of the earth. But they taught me a lot of stuff about like music, and I started playing in bands then. And during the punk rock years, which this would have been like 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, I guess, like beginning of high school, I was in a band called Douchebags Anonymous. I was in a band called
Oh my god.
The Blown Loads. And our phrase was, we should have been cum on the sheets. I was in a band called, can I say?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
I was in a band called the Aristocunts.
Aristocunts.
And then I was in a band called The Unknowns. And The Unknowns was the first time I was just like singing. I wasn't playing any instruments or anything. I was just a singer. And I was super nervous, but I just tried to put all the nervous energy into like jumping around and stuff because I like doing that stuff, And musically, I don't know if we were that good, but we put on a hell of a show. And that band eventually broke up because members started different things. I started playing guitar in a band called Ultraviolent Youth.
Mm-hmm.
So just to recap, that's Douchebags Anonymous, Aristocunts, Blown Loads, Ultraviolent Youth.
Okay.
So really creative band names. And Ultraviolent Youth was like kind of like led me more into like heavier music, because up until then it was just like happy punk rock music, sort of like I don't know, in the vein of like Rancid or like the Ramones, like
Robbie,
it's
Robbie,
fun
Robbie,
to be a punk rocker, and stuff like that. And then Ultraviolent Youth was more of like a thrashy like punk band, and that got me more into like hardcore music and like heavy metal music. Then I started singing for a band called Carnea. I'll let you
And that's where jam comes in. Okay.
tell your story up to there, and then we'll continue from
Real quick, we're starting to intertwine.
Yeah.
I saw I can't remember which band it was, but I know I saw you guys before I had ever met any of you at that benefit show at the White Palace, where it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about, but yeah. I wasn't in any of those bands.
Oh,
there was
really?
a band that played that show. Fun story. That was like the first time I almost got arrested.
Okay.
For nonsense. This cop pulled us over, so we went through a red light. It was definitely yellow, and he was like, "You carry a." He's like patting me down. He's like, "You carry a weapon, son?" And I was like, "No, sir." And he goes, "Why not?" Like,
That was his question.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
I was like 15. Like, anyways, though.
Should I?
I left it in your
We're
mom
like
last
16.
night.
Anyways, though, at the White
Jesus.
Palace show,
Yeah.
I forget the name of the band.
Did you do?
It was with
vocals or
Yoho.
something?
Yeah, they did a cover of the Number 12 Looks Like You's
My
cover
Sharona.
of My Sharona. And they asked me to do vocals because
Okay.
at the time, I was like the first person to be like screaming, and it was like,
Yeah.
whoa, he's screaming like Burt McCracken from the Used. Whoa. Yeah,
Meanwhile, that shit been around for years.
yeah.
Okay.
But
What now?
yeah.
Real quick, was Sarah's Victoria at that show?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
Fun fact: Sarah's Victoria is had at least two members from Stimulus, the first band I was in.
Stimulus package,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Just keeps
I
pushing
like
it
those
forward.
guys.
Just keeps pushing it forward.
Okay, so that brings us to Carnea, correct?
Yeah, that brings us to Carnea, and that also makes us Tarantino this a little bit too, because
shit.
we're gonna backtrack and we're gonna intertwine even more.
The day I was
So
born.
much in it.
So much intertwining.
It's all about the
human
implication.
pretzels just intertwined.
And it's all about the
It's like a
intertwine.
Savage Garden song.
It's like a basketball net. It's how it's just.
But actually, I met Creighton in high school, and I was a sophomore. He was a freshman.
When he was a crust punk.
When he was crust punk.
Can I tell what I thought of you before we started hanging out?
Yeah.
John Mark drove a LeBaron, and for whatever reason, I thought it was the coolest car. If you've ever seen a LeBaron, they're not
Actually,
cool.
I have a picture of it. Sean, can you include it right here?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I will
there it
for
is.
sure find it.
No, I have it.
And we're back.
Okay.
I do have it.
I thought his car was so cool, and he was always like standing around in like black t-shirts, just like brooding, smoking cigarettes, and I was like,
Brooding.
Everybody
that guy-
always thought I was brooding.
that dude's so cool.
I was just always brooding. I don't know.
I get patted down all the time. You got cigarettes on you, and I was like, no,
You were like
no.
you were like one of the goth kids in South Park.
Yeah, fucking conformist. But I actually met Creighton in one of the periods in between where you sit and they fucking shove you all in a room. You sit there and you twiddle your dick while you wait for them to send you off to the lunchroom so you can eat your food.
Yeah.
But no, I saw this guy like walking around the halls, like just always laughing, but didn't give a shit. Just
for
wore
no
what he
reason at
always
all, I
wanted.
just walked around like,
Yeah, he did. Like maniacally, like just laughing and like having a good time. And it
Did
was
he have
like,
the mohawk?
yeah, he did.
yeah,
He
yeah,
had the big mohawk.
Alright.
He didn't give a shit, and I loved it. He didn't give a flying fuck. And it was actually one of the days. I do remember this. I don't know why, but Haley, I can't remember her last name, but her dad owned the arena or whatever. She was just asking you about you, and you were like real cool about it. You were just like, she was like, "Why do you wear that?" Like she wasn't being a prick. She was just asking, and you were like real cool with it. Like, oh, this snobby little girl. Like you could have just been like, "Fuck you, fuck your establishment," and you totally weren't. You just went the other route. You were like, "Yeah, like it's just I don't know. I like the clothes, like the music," and I was like, "That's a cool fucking kid." Anyway, fast track back forward. I actually was in quite a few bands throughout high school. Anything big, but it was actually me and my brother Andrew Covington. He was the drummer for it, and I was the guitarist, and it was just the two of us. And we had a couple of shows. One of them I will
Are
not
you
say the
talking
name
about
of it.
Carnea right now?
No. Leading up to that, because this
What's
is
the
what
name
led
of this
it.
band?
Well, the name of this band is not able to be said over this microphone
Okay.
right now because it is actually kind of fucked up.
Okay.
But we didn't play fucked up music. Like we did
More
a
fucked up than the Blown Loads or the Aristocats.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, I mean that.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, like the name of our band too, you would have seen it and been like, what the hell? But like we played like Jimi Hendrix covers and brand new covers, and we like wrote our own stuff too. And eventually that wound up burning out into me and him starting something else up for a little bit, and we played one show. And I remember Creighton coming to actually, I think he didn't go to the first one, but the next one after that. And again, just me and him crossing paths. And one day I met a guy named started dating this girl, and she introduced me to this guy, and she said, "Hey, he plays drums. His name's Mitchell." And that's when I met Mitchell Nash.
Nasty Nash.
Merch guy Mitch.
Yeah.
He would later be known.
And he was trying to start up a band, so I was like, well, hell yeah. And by this point, I'm in my first year of college, and we started it up. It was me, him, Snow Edgar, and my friend Mike Schultz on drums, and Mitchell was our lead singer. And
He was the singer. Okay.
yeah, he actually took the mic. He threw up right before our first performance, right backstage, and then stepped out on the stage. You were there. You were there.
I was there.
The Nelson
You were
Jordan
there.
Center.
Rob,
Nelson
you were,
Jordan Center.
Rob's not here.
Yeah, Rob, you were there. Rob.
Rob, yeah?
Rob.
That was
Anyway.
we're selling poison, right?
That was we're selling poison days. Everybody started calling us Wasp, and it pissed off Mitchell. He thought it was really
Cool,
annoying.
though. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
that kind of dissolved a little bit, and I don't know. It was about 6 months, 7 months later. I get an email. I'm actually getting ready to go on break for winter break, and I get a back and forth with Mitchell Nash of like, hey, I'm trying to get this thing going. What are you thinking? And I finally get to a computer and get on AIM. Back when AIM was fucking cool. And if you kids don't know what that is at home, just fucking Google it. It's how we used to keep in contact.
Children watching this, like,
It's how we used to keep in contact before these.
what is that?
Oh, hey, at least I'm not throwing out fucking Prodigy or CompuServe or some of that shit.
CompuServe. CompuServe was horrible.
But he hits me up and he's like, I got these couple of buddies that they're wanting to start this band, and we're gonna get together in about a week. Do you wanna come in, and we're gonna try and jam it out and see what we can make? And I said, yeah. And he said, I think one of the guys, I think you know him. The other guy's my buddy Cody, but Creighton Hill's interested in singing it for us. And I was like, I know that cool ass motherfucking fly son of a bitch. Fuck yes. And then after that, we started jamming it out in that little tiny hot sweatshop of a garage of Mitchell Nash's, but it was well worth every minute of it. I mean,
Good times.
once that kicked off, that's where me and this guy from there on, even when that all dissolved, we were doing very well. We were running around between a lot of shows.
Shout out to Cody Nelms if he ever watches this. He's
Nelms.
like
The Nelms.
This dude played guitar for Carnea, like it was like
Can't believe I
him
even
on
skipped
guitar,
him.
John Mark on guitar. We just didn't have a bassist.
Yeah.
And Mitch played
That's okay.
drums
We'll get
the
thanks
last
to everyone
night,
who did either.
I guess. Dude,
Except for the beginning.
Playing bass for What Great Fangs is like playing drums for Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
But no, so this dude played guitar for us, and every time he's a big dude. Like back before it was cool to like be a big dude with a big beard and like dress like skinny jeans or whatever. Like I don't know if he wore skinny jeans.
He did.
Okay, but
did.
like back before that was like a style. Like this dude just was that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And he had this big stack. And every show he would drape an NSYNC shirt over it, and people thought it was like a joke. And he'd be like, "NSYNC's my favorite band,"
Yep.
and they'd laugh. And then he would explain why NSYNC was actually a really talented band,
Yep.
and like break down the songs and like all this stuff. And by the end of it, they'd be like, "Damn, that guy loves NSYNC." He is now he's like a super talented chef, and he just got like another black belt in some other form of martial arts or something like that. Like this dude, like
Cody's a beast.
yeah, he's awesome. So shout out to that dude.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so I realized I left something out. Before Carnea, I was in a band called Modern Monstrosity.
Yes, that's right. We
Yeah.
played that show
And-
together.
and
Yeah.
what about Posh Zombie?
And Posh Zombie. Yeah, I forgot about. Damn, I was in a
Too
lot of
many
bands.
bands.
Posh Zombie
Too many
was
bands.
like, again, that was with Crow Hardley
Yeah.
and Mitchell Nash, which is kind of how Mitchell and I started jamming together. Actually, I think Posh Zombie might have been after.
It was after Carnea.
Yeah. Modern Monstrosities was before Carnea, though.
okay.
And that was when I was like into like AFI a lot. And I wore
Yeah.
like guy liner and like all that
Ooh.
stuff.
Oh, he was sexy.
The good old days.
He was sexy.
Oh yeah, that band's original name was Dangle in the Sheriff's Picture Frame, because there was this whole story about how like if somebody like something stupid, like if someone hung themselves or got hung, like they had to take a picture before they could take them down. And we just thought that was such a disturbing thought that we're like, oh, that would be a cool band name. That was the band name for like a week. And someone came up to me and was like, how's Dingleberry and the Shit Fucks? And I was like, well, that band name's gotta go.
Dingleberry and the Shitbox.
Yeah. But yeah, so we started Carnea.
Yep.
And that was the first time I played a show where I like traveled further than an hour, because we
Same.
played in like Columbus, and did we play anywhere else? We played that car show, we
played-
played that town that had that car show.
Yeah, Galleon, Ohio.
Yeah. We played this town and they had a car show there, and there was a DeLorean there. It was sweet.
It was all decked out too with the Mr. Fusion and the Back to the Future back.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
beautiful.
So Carnale didn't last very long. We did record a song, but for whatever reason we put a distortion on my vocals that made it sound like I was literally singing through a tin can.
Yeah,
And
it was
that
bad.
still exists out there in the internet somewhere, and it's not the worst thing, but anyways, we did get like one song done, and then that kind of started falling apart because like people weren't showing up to practice, and we all just kind of got disillusioned with it. But John Mark and I made a pact that we were going to start another band together. So we kept like hanging out and talking about different music and stuff like that. And I think around this time is when you were in Maritime Militia
Yes.
Yeah.
with Brandon Fair.
Correct.
And to give the timeline real quick,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it was almost exactly to the date 3 years. 3 years between where we're getting ready to go, which was really weird. I always found that really, really weird. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I know I met you guys because I made a music video for you guys.
Yes.
For Maritime Militia.
So like probably
which you can watch here.
So like probably like pretty much everybody else, I like knew who you were, but not like that personally.
Yeah.
And then after we made that video for us, we all became friends. And
I remember you always wore that skipper's hat.
oh yeah, and
captain's hat.
fucking sunglasses.
Yeah, man.
Oh god.
That's a good look, bro.
Yeah, it was super cool. No, I
Super.
I really
I literally knew you as like the kid who played drums and wore the the captain's hat.
I was really awesome. No,
I was like, actually, that hat.
It's right here.
yeah.
You can put that in his hand later.
Well,
Yeah.
so what's I mean,
Put it on your head. Yeah.
what's kind of ironic about Great Fangs, which we're obviously approaching that era, for me was that I actually at first like I wanted no part of it. And and the reason being, I was really, really
That's shocking. I didn't know that.
Well,
I'm a little hurt.
no.
I
I
am
mean,
too. I didn't know this.
well, okay, look.
You know what?
Wait.
Fuck this.
Let me, yeah, okay.
Explain yourself.
Let me explain. So, I was really just like I was enjoying Maritime Militia a lot. Like I thought that we were doing something pretty cool. I thought that we were somewhat unique, and I just really, really liked the band and like wanted to continue the band. And then that just kind of randomly blew up, and I was, I was just really bummed about it. And I didn't really want to play music. I was just kind of like, this sucks. Like I can't believe this happened. And I want to say it was probably like February of like 2011. Brandon approached me, and he was like, "Hey, like, would you want to be in a Southern metal band?" Yeah. And I was like, "Well, I mean, I like Pantera." I was like, "I mean, I'm interested," but honestly, I
That's
just
not what I'm looking for right now.
yeah. Sorry, you're not what I'm looking for.
So,
No, really,
Frank Sharp.
part of it was because I was just still upset about Maritime, and part of it was because I just really didn't think I was good enough to be in any kind of a metal band. I was just like, I don't even think I could do that, dude. But then
says the dude that would later go on to record every drum track without a click. And
Yeah.
get it, like the first time. But go on.
Well, no, I used the click. I'm just not good at it. But But no.
Oh, well, now I'm not impressed.
Yeah. I don't
Go
know.
on.
And he mentioned that.
Oh no, you used the click and that was it, right? Like you didn't have like.
Well, no, we used scratch
He
tracks.
just did everything in like one take, and it was like perfect right off
Okay.
the bat.
Not always
Like me.
one take.
No.
Oh my God! Take the compliment.
What?
He did really well.
No, go ahead.
And then he also mentioned that you were like, you know, like in on it too.
Yeah, because
And,
I was in Posh Zombie with Brandon
Right.
before What Great Fangs. So
Okay.
that's where Posh Zombie comes in during that time that you and I were still jamming. But before What Great Fangs. So.
Yeah. And so I just kind of figured, I got nothing to lose. Why not? At least give it a chance. And then it really wasn't too long afterward that you guys introduced me to JM.
Yeah.
And I remember we met that day up on campus in
In the music hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the music rooms, and we had like a guitar and like a drum pad, and like right then and there we like immediately jammed something out that was like pretty decent, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
That's when we started seriously.
Yeah.
That was the first. That was the first one. Yep. We created that riff. We created that riff in that room.
Yeah.
Now you remember how it went. Now. Shit. No.
And yeah, I mean, so, like I said, like just kind of weird looking back for me, because I almost feel like I just kind of stumbled into it and was like, just not really, like I didn't know what I was in for.
That
And
actually
I'm-
brings me.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, and I don't like. I think it's like, I think it's like a lot of things in life where like you kind of don't expect things to happen at the time that they do, and it turned out to be like some of the best years of my life. You know what I mean? So
Well, that
Shit.
kind of brings me to one of my favorite stories about What Great Fangs. Is when we first started, we were trying to come up with a band name. Now, I pushed really hard for the name of the band to be Raw, R-A-W, Blow, B-L-O-W. So the band would be called Raw Blow. I still think that's one of the
It was
best
that
bands.
low.
Someone's going to watch this and steal that band name now. But
Rob
I
Love.
thought that was such a cool band name. And I know there was like a couple of... Do you remember
Sonya
any of those?
Blade.
Sonya Blade
Yeah,
was one.
Sonya Blade.
Which that was totally just because I loved the band Karen Page. And I thought that... I was like, man, it's cool to have a girl's name for the name of your band. And I love Mortal Kombat. It's Sonya Blade. But I feel like we had a few other ones. But I know What Great Fangs came up at some point. And so that came up. And you came up with that. Okay.
Well, I literally was getting ready for band practice, and they had that stupid Red Riding Hood movie on, and I just heard the line of, "Oh my, what great fangs you have," and I was like, "Oh shit, we're talking about band names. I'm gonna bring that out today."
I remember it was one that we were like, okay, we'll consider
Yeah.
that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you had a project for...
I had to,
Because
I had
we
to
were in
make a-
college together at the time.
I had to
You
make
had
a
a-
business plan.
Yeah, yeah.
And I made it about a fucking band.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. But once I put it on paper, I was just like, this looks clean.
Yeah.
And it
I'll never,
just worked.
I'll never forget, because it was like once we all saw it like written on paper, it was like, yeah, that's it. you
Yeah.
know? It was like like the, what's that cartoon where they're like, the B sharps.
The Simpsons.
The B sharps. Yeah, because each one of us was like, what great fangs. Yeah. What great fangs.
Yeah.
And then there was a musical number and we all danced, and
Right.
We snorted a lot
that
of coke.
was it. That was the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So to go back a little in time before we get to JP entering the band, I want to say I probably kind of met you for the first time when Maritime Militia did the CA House Battle of the Bands.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
Jeez, you gotta bring that up.
Boy.
Like that's when you were still in Comfort in the End.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I remember watching you guys and being like, these guys are really good.
And that was,
Um,
if you ask the other members of the band, they'll say the same thing. That was the worst show we've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the last show you guys played at
There's-
Hill House.
Oh, okay. There
That
were two shows in our minds that were really bad. One was at Yesterday's and one was there. But anyway.
I just remember being at the Comfort in the End's last show because I got to make the flyer for that one.
Yeah.
And so I went to that show, and it was at Hill House. And I remember standing on the side of the room with John Mark, and we could literally see the floor like bowing.
Yep.
Like it was like
Oh shit!
was bad.
and we were all looking, and John Mark said something to me like, "You're about to see some crazy shit. 'Cause this floor is gonna fall through."
You're like, you might want to leave the room.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, that's why we just like hung out on the side of the room. We're like, this is
Yeah.
about to get crazy. That show was awesome. Man.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest shows I've
Yeah.
ever been to in my life.
That was a fun
Like,
show.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so
It's
the
still standing today.
Yeah, the
is.
floor did not fall through.
Yeah.
So that's.
I was sad about
That's-
it, but
I mean, it probably would have only resulted in like a dozen fatalities. So.
they'd have been fine. They were young. They could spring back.
I mean,
That's-
to be honest, that would have been like the coolest like, end of the band ever.
Yeah.
Literally
Just-
brought down the
just
house.
fall through
Yeah.
the fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Would have been worth it.
Actually,
Comfort in the End.
A short plug here.
Discomfort
You
in
guys,
the end.
you still do a lot of filming there, right?
Yeah.
In Jan's Crew?
Yeah, for the Jan Screw videos, we still do a lot of filming there.
Check out Jan's Crew videos. They
Yeah.
are
You can find the link.
hilarious. They're so good.
Sean put like a video here and a video here and
Yeah.
a video here.
Put like 4 videos on the screen.
I'm just gonna overlap this podcast with a compilation of. Well,
Okay, yeah. Do like a little supercut of like some of the funniest moments.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. So, yeah. So, you know, at first, obviously, it was us three and Brandon and our old friend Josh Burka.
Oh, Burger.
And that went on
What's-
a year, maybe.
Josh Burka, I love that guy. Love that guy. Go
The
on.
Burks.
Remember, okay, my favorite thing about having him in the band was when we played that song, Gossamer, right?
Yeah.
And there was a part right where went into like a breakdown, and like I would crouch down, and he'd jump up behind me and do this thing. Oh shit,
Wow.
dude! Sorry, do this thing where
I
he
start
like,
over now.
span the bass guitar and like flip it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And it was always so cool.
Oh, he was
like,
crazy on stage.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was
Yes,
awesome.
he was.
I
I loved it.
Yeah.
So, I want to say that iteration went on, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe. So-
About,
Played some
about
good
around there.
shows. We
Yeah,
played some really
Yeah,
good
we
shows.
did.
Shit happens, you know, and that is where so we ended up short a guitarist and a bassist, and the first person I thought of was JP because I was just like, he's super good, he's like the nicest guy ever,
And he's an animal on stage. I remember that was my first
Yeah.
words. He's an animal on stage. We could definitely have another animal on stage.
and then I asked Rob to play bass. And I did not think Rob would want any part of it. I was like, dude, we don't have a bass player. Would you be interested? And like, I was like, there's no way he's on. And like, I was amazed when he was like, hell yeah. And I was like, all right, we're good. So yeah, so that's kind of where you enter into it. Was this like, I mean, was Comfort in the End like on a hiatus, or were you guys just like done at that point, or I don't know if you even remember?
We probably said we were on a hiatus, but it was kind of like we were basically done at that point. I think we still played a couple shows after that, but just kind of on our way out. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, was that like pretty much first band you were in, or were there bands before that?
No, mine goes. I don't know if you want to go through all mine right now or not. I started like when I was in 8th grade too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard it, so just do it. Lay it on us.
I was also in a band called Stimulant.
I was in a band called Rob Lowe, and everyone tried to steal it. No, I wasn't in that many bands. I was just, but yeah, in 8th grade, we saw me and my friend Chris went to someone's birthday party at the Flushing Fire Hall. And it was like not even like a show, it was someone's birthday party, and we heard someone was playing, so we went and just walked in and checked it out. And it was Seconds Before Burning.
Oh, snap.
And we were like,
SBB, baby.
yes. And we were like,
Keep it real.
we were like so blown away by this, like just seeing these like people just a little bit older than us playing music, and we were just like, dude, we got to do this. So we went back to school and we started thinking like, who can we get to be in a band? Like I have a guitar and you have a drum set, so it's like, let's figure something out. And we got my friend Anthony to play. Originally he was going to be the other guitarist, and then we were just like, well, let's just make some music, we'll find a singer later. And eventually Anthony moved to bass because we found another guitarist, and we were like, well, we need a bass player, so maybe you can just be bass. And and then we got Blaine to do the vocals, so it was all of us in a band called It's a Fair Fight, and that was our first legit band. I very briefly, before It's a Fair Fight got started, I went to a band practice for Blaine's other band, Promises and Blood, but that didn't work out because I was just really bad, and I tried to jump in when I didn't know how to play anything. And so we started this thing on our own, and then went from there. But yeah, that went on for a little while. We got another singer later, and just eventually we like Blaine left, we got another singer. We went on for that for as long as we could. We were really terrible. We started a band after that called When Disaster Strikes, which was a straight edge hardcore band.
Nice.
And Blaine came back to do vocals. We got a bunch of songs put together. We recorded a couple songs, played one show with that band, and then we split up.
Damn.
Great.
Sometimes that's all it takes is a one night stand.
Yeah, we had a couple shows booked even. We had to cancel everything, yeah. So after When Disaster Strikes, I think that's when we started Comfort in the End. And all of our bands had like a really long period of like getting together, writing songs, like building up until we played some shows. And Comfort in the End lasted the longest. Because that lasted from like... I'm trying to think. We were probably... I don't know if we were freshmen or sophomores in high school all the way to like freshmen or sophomores in college. So that one probably lasted the longest, but like we didn't play like a ton of shows. And then yeah, what was it, freshman year of college that you approached me about What Great Fangs?
No, it wouldn't have been freshman year because I didn't even join Maritime until my sophomore year.
Okay, well,
so
then
it was probably actually maybe like the middle of my sophomore year, maybe junior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember it was winter. It was cold. It was dark.
It was cold as shit.
I remember being very cold and upset.
Like Casper when they found him.
Cold and depressed.
I know my earliest memory of like being really stoked that you were in the band because like at first I was kind of like I don't like this guy, but my first
The fuck is this clown?
I remember when we played the West Liberty Fall Fest.
Yeah.
And that one dude showed up. I can't remember his name, but he was doing photography. Wait, I had his name in my head. He's in We Are Funhouse.
Casey Hardman?
Casey
Yeah,
Hardman.
Casey
Yeah.
Hardman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you going with this?
Yeah, he did photography for us that day, and he took a picture of you, like you had like jumped off the steps, and you like
that's-
landed, and you're like
Dude,
this or something like that.
That was our
picture
cover
is
photo
so cool.
for a
Yeah,
while.
man.
Yeah,
he had like
that
a
was
fisheye lens on it, and I looked at that picture so many times, and I was just like, I'm so glad that dude's in this band. I will say one thing, like. I think you might be the most photogenic member of What Great Fangs of the whole run.
Easily.
Because like
Thank
when
you.
we did that fashion show thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
There
remember
was
that.
so many cool pictures of you. Like there's ones where like your hair's all crazy and it's like black and white and stuff. And like there was one when we did the CD release show yesterday's, and there's one
Yeah.
where all of your hair is like
Yeah.
straight up.
It went Super Saiyan.
You're Super Saiyan, yeah.
Oh, the picture's so cool, man. But yeah, like I just remember when we did that West Liberty show, and I was
Right.
like, yeah, that was the right pick. Like
That's really funny.
yeah.
That I don't know if it's probably not the same picture, but there's a I haven't changed it for like years. I have the cover photo of my Facebook right now is from that show.
That's awesome.
But it's a picture where was moving backwards for some reason and I tripped, and it's me like mid-trip. You probably can't tell from the picture unless you know the story, but like I'm just falling in the picture.
Yeah.
And it's just a picture of me falling like towards the camera.
I'm pretty sure you two are talking about the same exact photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it does look like you're jumping in the air.
Right.
Oh, I thought
But your
you
back's
like-
to it, yeah.
I think that's what it was. I
Okay.
jumped off of that stair or whatever,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
landed and just tripped instantly.
Okay. Well, regardless, the picture is.
Well, now they know the
100%
origin.
rock star.
Yeah.
Like I love that picture.
I love that picture too. That's really
Yeah.
funny.
Well, we just
Well-
killed off a 4 or 5 year thing where people were looking at that going, that dude is throwing down, and he's
Yeah,
actually
no,
getting
no, no.
thrown down. So
Yeah.
you all now know that badass photo of JP is actually him just falling, but it looks sweet.
Yeah.
I remember too when you were when we were trying to think of people to be in the band, and I had like kind of met you, but I hadn't really talked to you like hardly at all, so I didn't really know anything about like your personality or anything like that. And Sean came to band practice, and he was saying that he kept bringing up your name, and the way you kept saying it, he kept going. All I know is
Yep.
he's hungry for it.
Yep. He's hungry for it.
He's got a passion.
I
He's
remember
hungry
that.
for
Yep.
it. And I was like, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a interesting way to phrase it. Okay, let's give it a
You-
try.
you
And
had
then
to-
I
meet
don't
you,
even remember that.
And then,
like,
like, hey,
introduce you, and I'm expecting you to be like, "Oh, I want this. Let's do it. I need rock and roll in my life." And you were like, "What's up, man?" I was like, he's hiding his hunger well.
You had to
He's
have
hungry
seriously.
for it.
I do remember that, Sean. In a 2-hour period, you had because me and Creighton were busting your balls after we left because we
He's
just kept
hungry
saying it. You had I think we counted that you had said it almost 12 times in 2 hours.
Oh my god.
That you're hungry. That you're hungry.
All I
I
can
don't
say
even
is
remember.
he's hungry for it.
Yeah, and you had all of these different ways that you said, like, I'm just saying, like, he's hungry for it, and then there would be like, not even a half hour later, you would just be like, all seriousness, just lean forward, and be like, look, I'm just saying, I know he's hungry for it, and you just kept finding these different ways to say it, whether it was casual or real serious. It's fucking amazing.
That sounds about right.
That's awesome.
It was hilarious.
So then you were saying like you joined the band, Rob joined the band.
There's before Rob, Greg played.
Oh yeah, Greg Mully.
Yeah.
He filled in. He recorded it, on the album, and he filled in for a couple shows for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played there's a song he played on the stand-up bass that was pretty cool. Do you remember? There's like a recording of him playing one of our songs.
Oh,
on
it was
stand-up
hell
bass.
yeah.
Okay,
was
that
hell
was
yeah.
pretty cool.
That's fitting.
Yeah.
But Greg Mully openly admitted he was like, "Yeah, I'm just in it for the night," or whatever. He's like,
The what?
"For the night."
For the night.
For the night.
It was like, cause like he was just super talented. He is super talented. So like he played in a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, he's
he's-
in like some legit, like really good,
Yeah.
like
He-
bands.
he's a ridiculous bassist.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Great mustache.
Great.
Dude, his mustache is on fucking point. When I saw it at your wedding, I was like, look at this son
Yeah.
of a bitch. This is amazing.
Looking like
So,
Ned
I
I
Flanders.
want him. He does.
So
Diddly diddly.
Rob was in the band, and we decided we were gonna start like playing further out. Cause I remember there was a point where like it seemed like we would leave on a Thursday and get back on like a Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Like we just play any show we could get
Yeah.
on, and when we needed to get. I'm probably jumping ahead too much, but when we needed to get
We'll
the
Tarantino
band,
it.
and we made the GoFundMe
Oh,
video.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the funnest things too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, there's so many. I love showing people that video because there's so many little things I'll point out about it. That's just like great. Like when you say the sign, like I got a little bit of an idea that's gonna knock your socks off. I know. Like as
It's
soon
so
as you
funny.
finish the line, we all burst out laughing. Yeah. So it's like every time I watch it, like I can see like the laughter like about to come out like in the line. And like when you're dragging the bass and you're like hobbling.
Oh, I twisted the
you
fuck out of my
literally
ankle.
like ruined
yeah.
your leg like the night before the show.
I
Yep.
forgot about that.
Yep. I've got a picture of
And
that
you're
too.
wearing a hat. Well, no. He wasn't wearing a hat in one shot, And then once he gets it into the van, the hat's on, and he's like, "Oh, the magic hat!" It just like appears.
That was I don't know why I came up with that idea, but I was like, I'm gonna get this in there, and we're gonna do a cut, and I'm gonna have that thing on backwards for no reason.
Recording that thing was so much fun, and like I remember like with the Wolf Brand chili.
Yeah,
I thought that was so clever.
Yeah.
And then like everyone who watches it, they don't even notice that.
Yeah,
you know? And I was like, it's so clever because it's one great.
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's an Easter egg.
But recording that was so much fun, and the whole Rob stole the show in that one. Like when the van opens up, he's
God,
in the back
yeah.
of the van doing the thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
He's got the
so
kitten out.
sexy, man.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
got his
it.
kitten out.
I love it.
Okay, so there's one important part of your history you left out that I'm intrigued as to why, and that would be sliced sphincter.
Okay.
Why did you bring that up?
Oh, okay.
Forgot about that.
I mean, that was my favorite thing you ever did.
That's. I remember.
Wait, is this a
Everyone's
band or
favorite
did you
thing
really
I
do this?
No, well, both.
It was a thing.
If you wanted to be in the band,
If you wanted to be in the band.
you had to slice your sphincter.
Slice
It's initiation.
That band started after. Oh, I left out a couple things, didn't I?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
This fucking guy.
I was also in a pop punk band called Friends Making Enemies.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
That was
right.
After
that was a good band.
Yeah, and that was after.
Don't lie to the kid. No.
I enjoyed it.
Well, it was after. That started after Comfort, and
Just say that you definitely made some enemies.
you know, let me tell
Yeah,
you.
you know.
And then after both of those, I think was Slice Sphincter, or maybe Slice Sphincter was either before or after Friends Making Enemies. But Slice Sphincter is a band where we, Rob, Dylan, and I would go somewhere and play stuff off the top of our head and just make it up on the spot.
You guys would just like crash shows, and it was really funny.
The first two times that we did it, like to this day, were like some of the best shows we've ever played. There's a video of us doing it at Yesterday's.
You're just like playing breakdowns.
I remember
There's
that.
two
That's
times.
so
There's
funny.
two times where we did it at Yesterday's. One time was the first time we ever did it, and it went really well, and we were just like really surprised. I got a bunch of stories from that night that were just mind blowing. But the second time we did it, there's a video of it, and it actually is like one of the craziest shows I've ever played. There's just like it's just insane the entire time, and it's like we're making this up. How's this working? And yeah,
That's funny.
but yeah, that's one of our other bands. There's we break that out every once in a while at the end of a show.
Oh,
We do that.
I'd like to see that again. It's been a while. It's been too long. So I guess I'd just like to ask some questions, you guys. So I mean, well, it's kind of standard. What have you enjoyed the most over these years of being in all these bands and just like shows and things like that?
I know for me, like when I first started singing in bands, like the original point was simply so I could get into shows for free.
Yeah.
I remember you
If I'm
telling
on,
me that.
if I'm on the
You son of a-
lineup, like we'll just open the show and
Yeah.
just hang out.
There
Because
you go.
I had no money. I couldn't afford even $5 for a show. So like if I could just get my foot in the door, I was cool with that. But like I feel like that was like making the decision to join a band was probably the best thing I ever did with my life because it shaped the whole rest of the course of my life. Like there are things to this day, like in my career and in relationships I've had and stuff, that are all a direct result of me like getting into that lifestyle and making those friends and stuff like that, So I would say probably my favorite thing about it was I don't know. I kind of hated all of it, really. Yeah.
John Mark?
How can I top that? I mean, how the fuck do I follow that act? I don't know. For me, over the years, I learned that Creighton's a fucking liar and a swindler, and you still owe me $10.
Oh, hey, that was an agreement. That was a gentleman's agreement.
That was a gentleman's agreement. We were both naked, but okay. No,
I've actually been naked around you guys. That's like the funniest part.
I think I've been around you more naked than I have any other man.
And
that's not a joke.
I have that effect
Not a
on people.
joke.
It is,
Any other human being, really.
And I don't know why. But no, I've been playing music since I can remember. I've always just picked up instruments. I remember picking up one of my family members when I was really little, like 3 years old, had a flute. For whatever reason, I would pick it up and pretend like I could play it. So over the years, like I've just gone and played around with different instruments, and as that time has gone, I found my love for guitar, and then once I did that, I also found my love for singing, and then my love for just playing in general. And what really got me into doing bands, it was really when I was about 14 or 15 years old. A band by the name of Thursday. If you guys have never listened to them, Sean, thank you.
Right.
They did a lot. Like they were the first time I ever heard a band that wasn't on the radio, that wasn't country music, that wasn't something somebody else really like gave me and was like, here, this is what's popular. It was actually my best friend Ryan Chrisman's older brother, Travis Chrisman. He came back from his first ever Warped Tour, and it was his freshman year of college, and he was like, oh my gosh, I found all this amazing music that I've never even heard of. He's like, you guys need to listen to it. And he had all these CDs, and he just gave it to us. And the first one I saw, he even looked at me and was like, that's something you're really going to like. And it was Thursday's Full Collapse. And I threw that in, and it was mind-blowing to me, like, hear that there's bands out there making music like that. And at the time where I was in my life, like, not only did the music help, but, like, what the lyrics were, as corny as it sounds, but no serious, the cliche of it, of that music, Dashboard Confessional, Taking Back Sunday, Brand New, it just hit me of, like, it really touched with me, and it really helped me pull myself out of a bad place. And once that happened, I thought to myself, well, I just started playing guitar about a year ago. I would love to, actually, like, do the same thing, stand up on stage and play, but not necessarily because to do what somebody did for me, but just because, like, that's where I'm starting to feel like that's where I should be. So after the years went and everything, I've been on the stage more with What Great Fangs than I was ever with any other band. And I still to this day, I get a lot of people and they ask me, like, what band are you in now? And I'm like, not. And they're like, well, what are you doing? You still playing? Yeah, I still play. I play up to almost every day, and if it's not on the actual guitar, I'm doing something, just keeping it going. And for me, from everything that I've learned and that I've loved, is just the friendships, the people that I've met, especially you guys. Like, I wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for the fact of Travis Chrisman that one day handing me that CD and saying, go listen to this band, go listen to this band. And it really shaped the rest of the course of where I was, because where I was not good, and it really helped drive me out of that. It really helped me get to a point of something to focus on, because I had no focus. So with doing that also helped me build some of the greatest relationships that I've ever had, and that I hope will always continue to keep going. And I hope down the road that something will come along too again, where maybe, hey, maybe I'll get back out on that stage. If not, no big deal to me. I'm still going to keep playing. It's just something that I've naturally done ever since I can remember. So to me, it's just the love of music, the love of friends, and the love of meeting new people every day. I love meeting new people, even though I hate people. They fucking people suck. I mean, no lie, they fucking suck. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. People are awesome. I love meeting new people every damn day.
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I have a question for you guys, but you go ahead and say your point.
I was gonna say too. I just remembered another band I was in.
All right. What was it?
I played drums in a band called Callous Mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. The mind of the callous.
I was impressed. I was like, he plays drums too. I was like, Rob. I'm like, he plays everything. Like,
Right.
Field Crooner.
Cornfield Crooner.
Crooner.
You will find him on FarmersOnly.com. Cornfield Crooner.
Yeah, I found
That's a
Farmers
great
Only.
story.
So I apologize to all the people I forgot and had to remember.
I want to ask
all the
you
bands.
guys, from your time in What Great Fangs, what's like one of your favorite memories from like a show or like a practice or anything like that? I'll start. This
Alright.
is something that involves all of you. I remember when we did our CD release show at Yesterday's, and we were I was so into doing this whole thing where we were gonna have like it played like a creepy like Little Red Riding Hood, like hey there, Little Red Riding Hood, with a storm, and it was supposed to be like. It was supposed to look like there was like lightning flashing and stuff.
That's on YouTube.
And we yeah.
Okay, all right.
We come out with the masks on and stuff like that. Now, the most effort that we put into that is the portion of the YouTube video that is pitch black. You can't not see a thing.
Yeah.
And we put so much effort into like making it. I mean, for the people that were there, it was really cool, you know. And we did have a great crowd. Like, I mean, like a lot of people came out for that.
Dude,
it was a super cool show.
I still have Fangs.
But I
at
just
party
remember
with
thinking like, this is the coolest thing a local band has ever done. And it will go down in history. And then the only evidence of it ever happening is completely black.
Yeah.
Like you can't see a thing.
Yeah.
You can barely hear the thing. I think you can just like hear people talking. And
Yeah.
laughing. But for us, I think that was really cool.
You know,
that show was
that was
great.
really cool.
To be honest, that particular show probably is my favorite memory, just because it's, you know, it took so long for it to all finally culminate to that, and
that was only like what, my like third or fourth show with you guys.
yeah,
because we spent all summer working on getting the CD ready and not
So
really
much
doing
effort.
shows.
Well, no,
No.
we did that all winter.
That was all of winter. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
we finally had the release show in April.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so pumped. Like everything about that show was cool. Like we had the flyer that matched the CD and matched the Facebook stuff. Like we had everything was like uniform. And it was so cool, and we did it all ourselves. You know?
Yeah.
we printed everything ourselves. We cut it out. I remember
We were cutting CDs
we were
in the
cutting
office.
CDs in the office.
Yeah, drinking
the day
Irish
of the show.
breakfast, drinking Irish
Oh,
breakfast,
man.
and cutting the CDs.
Yeah.
It
That
just
was
felt
fucking
like
fun.
you felt very overdue. I mean, you know, we'd obviously like endured some like lineup changes, so like that kind of like halted the progress for a while, and it just felt really good to just see everything that we'd worked on for like almost pretty much 2 years at that point.
At that
Like,
point, yeah,
it like
almost
you know,
2 years.
and it all just finally came out, and like Rob's Light Show.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just a great show. There were a lot of people there.
I feel
it was a good time. You know,
We got some great pictures from that show. Like every picture from that show is a killer picture.
Yeah.
you know?
Even Wolf Security had to grab somebody, snatch them up in the middle of the show, and throw them out for
oh
fighting.
yeah, I remember
The
that.
Wolfpack security actually got to hold down the Wolfpack. It was
Shout out to
nuts.
But
security.
but like specifically, my favorite moment within that whole thing was when so we like ended the show, like, and we all went in that back room, and we were just like exhausted and just sweaty, but we took a moment to like basically like it was basically like a group hug. And we're all just like, you know, this is like this just like it finally happened. And
It felt good.
And, you know, went back out, played Hacksaw, and
Yeah.
you know, that was an awesome
Fucking
moment.
Hacksaw.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's probably mine.
man.
I don't know if you guys can think of anything.
I thought of getting in the back of the van to go up to Erie, PA.
Oh, my
yeah.
god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you had so much fun back there.
Wow.
It's great because I was thinking of the same
Dude, driving with the three of you in the back of that van,
yeah.
and all of Sean's hardware is like
Yes.
right next to our heads. And every time we hit the brakes, it's like it like slides like shing, like fucking
If
drum
I-
stands like this close to the back of your head.
If I would have
So-
wrecked, they would have died.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
All three,
Absolutely.
us
We'd have been
three,
fucked.
And it was like
in the
a
back, no
4-hour
seatbelt.
drive or something like that.
Yeah,
all
like
the
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was not
felt
close.
longer, Sean.
Oh, I'm sure
I
it
was
did.
like this
We were
the
both-
whole time.
We were both like this. I remember being up against you.
Oh man.
And
There's a picture of us where we were like about to close the door.
Yeah,
and we're all like,
yeah, right in there. And then we get home at dawn and you have to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like immediately you're like,
We both did.
it's 6 a.m. I just have to go now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That
That's,
was
What a
awesome.
That had
that
to
was
be
a great show, though.
That was
Yeah.
a hell of a fun show.
I don't know what it's like up there now, but the crowd there, like the scene there, was awesome, man.
It
that was
a
like the
nice
one time we had a green
stage.
room. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The green
That was a
room.
great
The
show.
green room.
Those
I remember
dudes-
looking at you guys too, going, "What the fuck is a green room?"
Because it's not like we saw many of them.
I
Time.
remember it was super cold too, because like we left here.
Oh, it was in, like,
and it was like
January.
hot. Or well, not
Oh,
hot, but it was
yeah.
like temperate. And then we got
Oh,
up there.
it
was-
It was
oh.
That Lake
freezing,
Erie
'cause we were
effect.
so close to the lake. Like I remember just being like, I didn't dress for this.
No,
Like, at all.
It was
Like,
cold as fuck up
Oh
there, dude.
man, yeah.
And well, I'll never forget when they looked at me and said that we were playing at like 1. And I was like,
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
That's not gonna
we
work.
literally aren't going to get home until like dawn. And sure enough, it was like 6
Yeah.
a.m. when we got home.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
brutal.
man.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
What a show.
I don't know if you want to talk about like Skatopia, all that chaos that ensued. It's
That was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Skatopia
That
was
was
awesome,
like a
man.
lot
nuts.
of
Oh.
Somebody shot it and like M80 at us on stage.
fun. It-
Fireworks
While we
left
were
and right.
playing, somebody
Yeah,
shot an
loved it.
M80 at us.
Oh, dude, I loved
And
every minute of it.
that was the
Skatopia
best part.
It's
That
crazy.
was
'Cause it
fireworks
goes-
just going off
it-
all around us.
It went through. It was from outside. It goes through the window and explodes in the ball in the next room.
Yeah,
So
because it hit the ceiling of where we were playing. Thank God.
and bounced,
Yeah,
ricocheted into that.
and it's a good thing it did because like if it actually would have went off like near us, that probably would have been good, right?
No, we
I don't-
would-
that
dude,
would've
It was
been-
exciting.
It was exciting. as
Yeah,
shit.
it was exciting.
But it
The
happened.
concussion alone, though, would have definitely hit our fucking ears.
It hurt our ears.
And not the loud music, the concussion of this fucking thing. And then if we were too close to it, yeah, we probably could have gotten some good concussion burn on our leg just from the
Oh.
compression.
No,
But the timing of it was perfect too. It was like right when we were going into like a different part of a song, and it was like, and like we went to something else, and it was that was awesome. I remember being so happy when that happened. I had the thought in my head of like that could have been worse, but it was like, yeah,
that could have been significantly worse.
yeah.
Right.
I'm really upset that there aren't any pictures or
Yeah.
videos. Or
There's
anything
nothing.
from that.
It's all in
Nothing
here.
from that, yeah.
That's because it
It's all
can't
in
be,
here.
bro. No
Skatopia
cameras.
doesn't exist.
I wish there was so bad because I bet that would have looked so cool to see that happen. Oh man.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I don't know if you guys have any in particular stand out.
I mean, I have dozens, but
Yeah. I'm going
Yeah,
through the
I
wheel.
got. We
He-
could
I
probably
mean,
talk about
getting-
it all day,
That's
but,
a
yeah.
good point.
Getting to share the stage.
you might have to make this one a two-parter.
right.
Two-parter, hardly
two,
know.
Part 2, just more memories.
Ah,
Yeah. Well,
thanks for the memory.
Real quick, do you remember that time we went up to? I don't know where it was, but we played at a show for literally 0 people. No one was there.
which time?
Which time?
But
Once,
this
yeah.
was
That happened more than
this
once.
was a particular time where we went up. We also stopped at like a video game store. I forget where it was though.
That was in Columbus.
Columbus. We went to
Yeah, and there
Columbus,
was nobody there. Do you
and it was
remember
like, something happened. It was just like not promoted well or something. We went to some bar in Columbus. Literally us and the sound guy, and there's no one else
there
in
was
the room.
nobody.
Yeah. It was when we went to Columbus and then we went to Skatopia the next day. We stayed at Seth's house.
That's it.
No. We went to Columbus the day after Skatopia.
No, we didn't.
Didn't we?
No,
It was
before.
reversed, yeah.
Oh. Well, we had
O'Kelly's,
another-
O'Malley's,
We had
something like
another
that?
show the
Something
day
like that,
after
yeah.
Skatopia, didn't we? Was that
No.
like a 3-day thing?
Skatopia, I drove you and Mitch back.
I thought we had to leave Skatopia, like couldn't stay overnight at Skatopia because we had a show the next day. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
tell me more about this Columbus show because I don't
Oh.
remember.
It's good, but we're running out of room.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up soon.
Yeah, it was like O'Kelly's or something like that. Your one friend came out,
That'll get edited out.
and I forget what her name was. But yeah, we showed up. They had
Oh, I
that
remember
nice ass
that.
stage. He gave us $7 out of his
Man,
fucking
I
pocket.
remember that. I was, yeah, I remember that.
that
I was
dirty
so mad about that
motherfucker.
show because
Yeah.
the whole point of that show was to make new fans, and the only people that came were people who already knew about the band.
Yeah.
And came from like back here, or like were people from here that
Oh
lived
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Some people.
So that
from back
whole
here
show
came.
was pointless, and
Yeah.
I was mad. We could have gone to Skatopia a day
Exactly.
early
Yeah.
and saw the other. Yeah,
And it was like,
That show
and I
sucked.
was even mad thinking like even playing the show, I was like, I'm gonna get worn out for no reason. I
Right.
should just sit down.
it was a
Yeah,
band
With
practice.
no one watching.
Yeah.
The freaking band practice.
All right. Well, yeah, we are. We don't have a whole lot of time left, so on the card. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Was a card in that thing?
SD card, yeah.
There's probably.
I thought there was a VHS in it.
Should we end it on like a video game note?
No, I know.
Is that the standard?
No.
I believe. I think last time I watched you, you guys ended it talking about Hey Arnold.
Right? Yeah,
So
that's.
that was.
I mean, that was inevitable with Old Crow Hardly. hanging out, so.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I'm glad we got to do it because I don't think we ever really did like sit down and kind of just like tell the history.
No. And shit, we didn't
I
even
think
get it
there's
all
so
out. The
much-
cards.
Like I
full.
know when I watch this, I'm
That's
gonna
a
be like
that's a light.
thinking of so many things.
Oh,
like
there's.
you guys didn't even talk about this.
There's
You're gonna
yeah.
yell yourself in the third
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, that's a very light. Some of the key points.
Yeah,
That just
but-
means there's gonna be a version 2.0 of this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're all laughing. Fuck y'all then.
I'll end on this. It was pretty cool that we were only a band for maybe half a year at this point, and we were just this like little band from West Virginia, and we went up and won the Altar Bar Battle of the Bands.
Yes, we
That-
did.
That was
Yes, we did.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the highlights for sure. But
And
you guys are go ahead.
go on to play with He Is Legend. That was
Yeah.
That fuck it. See,
I was gonna say that.
See, there's
I forgot I was
there's
gonna say
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
There's way too much.
Hey,
we'll have
this
to do a
side
2.0.
story.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like one time I came to band practice and I was wearing a Once Nothing t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you knew who Once Nothing was, and it was like still when I was like getting to know you, and I was so excited about that, and then I gave you that shirt for your birthday because
Yes.
I was just so excited.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
still got it.
that bad.
I still got it.
Nice.
All right, well, you guys are welcome on anytime. We'll do it again for sure.
Be back.
You will be back.
Maybe Robbie will join us.
Rob.
Yeah,
Rob?
So, you know what? We'll do a part 2 with Rob,
Yeah.
and it can
There's
only
so,
go.
many, there's so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So-
We didn't talk about Butler hardly at all, man.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're
Yeah.
gonna have we'd have to
We had a-
dedicate a whole entire
Yeah,
session
we had
to
like a
just
cult
Butler.
following in Butler.
Yeah, man. Home away from home.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. Like I said, those were some of the best years of my life, and I'm really happy that I was with you guys.
Those were the best days of my life.
Right.
It's just a little preview.
Did
You
you
don't know
ever,
what
did you ever hear
Great-
the stuff
Great
about
Fangs
all the
sounds
things
like.
they figured out about that song? Like, in 1969, Bryan Adams would have been like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And like, he says the line about like, bodied at the 5 and dime. He's Canadian. They don't have 5 and dime. Like, there's so many things wrong with that song. Like,
Well, he's talking about 69.
Yeah,
It's
we
the
know what
first
he's talking
year
about.
he's
we
69.
know what
Right.
he's talking about.
When he was 8
Wait, I
years
just
old,
figured
which
this out, like,
is
the other
really
day.
weird when you think about it.
He's just thinking about it all the time. Like, it's creepy to imagine him sitting around like, I remember the first time I did 69.
I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old.
There you go.
Perfect. That's how we can end it.